Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a look outside our weather window today. And yeah, it is smoky and hazy out there today, but it's actually better than we have seen, for about 4 or 5 days now. Still some haze out there. The sun peeked through and that allowed us to warm up today. And as we take a look at our 5-day weather outlook, things are going to be pretty mild and much cooler as we get into the upcoming weekend. Temperatures upper 70s pretty much for Thursday and Friday, partly cloudy skies, and then increasing clouds on both Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to see highs only in the 60s Saturday and near 70 for a high on Sunday. We'll have more weather for you coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. A fire outside Ephrata burned about 45 acres early yesterday morning. Ephrata firefighters would also like to have a talk with the owner of a lighter left behind in a field that burned Sunday. And a 36-year-old man was arrested at a Moses Lake homeless camp after a dispute Monday night over a stolen bike that led to another man being shot. But first, our top story tonight, U.S. Highway 2 remained closed again today as firefighters and state road crews continued to deal with the Bolt Creek fire. That fire has burned almost 9,500 acres and closed cross-state access on Stevens Pass since first being reported last Saturday morning outside Skykomish. People in the town of Index were able to return home yesterday afternoon after evacuation notices there were lowered from level 3 to level 2. The incident management on the fire said it was 5% contained. Washington State Department of Transportation crews have been working to clear fallen trees and rocks from the highway in areas that they can safely access. Well, a fire outside Ephrata burned about 45 acres early yesterday morning. Grant County Fire District 13 said the fire in Norton Canyon, about a mile and a half outside Ephrata, was difficult to fight because of steep terrain, heavy fuels, rocky access, and a sharp ravine through the middle of that fire. Working with firefighters from Ephrata, they were able to contain the brush fire by about 3:30 p.m. State agencies then worked on mop-up into the evening. The cause of the fire is being investigated by the Grant County Fire Marshal's office. Ephrata firefighters would also like to have a talk with the owner of a lighter left behind in a field that burned on Sunday. Your Ephrata firefighters posted a photo of the lighter and a message on social media saying, "If you're missing a lighter and your kids play in the field behind the homes in the 600 block of L Southeast, we'd love to talk to you." No property was damaged, but firefighters spent several hours extinguishing that fire. Well, a 36-year-old man was arrested at a Moses Lake homeless camp after a dispute Monday night over a stolen bike. It led to another man being shot. The Moses Lake Police Department said the unidentified victim was shot in the abdomen and taken to Samaritan Hospital, where his condition has not been released. Police said that about 9 p.m., the victim went to the homeless camp in the field behind Safeway off East Wheeler Road to confront Eric Walters about the stolen bike. The two reportedly got into a fight before Walters pulled a gun and shot the man. Police said Walters then stole the victim's backpack and fled into nearby brush. With the aid of K-9 Jester, Moses Lake Police located Walters and he surrendered. Walters was booked into the Grant County Jail where he faces charges of first-degree assault, first-degree robbery, first-degree burglary, theft of a firearm, and an outstanding warrant for felony theft. When we come back, the Wenatchee School District has agreed to build a women's softball facility to settle a Title IX complaint. The Eastern District of Washington has a new federal judgeship to fill after a sitting judge won appointment to a higher circuit. Food trucks are a popular choice for lunch in north central Washington, but around unincorporated areas of Chelan County, they've become a permanent fixture. And the State Fish and Wildlife Commission is considering whether to categorize a breed of wild fox as a threatened species. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
We've got things coming our way that we've never faced before. Under the current conditions, the storm's going to continue to get stronger and stronger. Now's not the time to take a step back. Now's not the time to be soft. Now's the time to drive us in the right direction to protect our communities. The team that surrounds myself is the team to take you into the future.
Welcome back. In another news, the Wenatchee School District has agreed to build a women's softball facility to settle a Title IX complaint. The U.S. Office of Civil Rights is mediating that settlement. The district has set aside about $4 million. But last night, school board members learned the cost could reach $5 million or more, depending on how it's financed, and those projected amounts may not be enough to meet the total costs of construction.
So this slide provides an overview of 3 financing options that we'll be looking at in a little more detail this evening. And as I mentioned in your board packet, you have additional details. We've got a 5-year option, a 10-year option, and a 15-year option to consider tonight, each with close to 3% interest costs.
Already, we are below in the years 2023, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26. We are already below the 5% minimum fund balance per board policy in the budget that we adopted.
That is our projection. Yes, we have some work to do there.
So I guess that's just a caution.
How certain are we that the softball field cost is going to stay at what we're estimating now, or what we're allowing? And what do we do if it doesn't?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's always variability in construction costs. My understanding is that the $4 million was based on an estimate that had some capacity in it, but I would need to look a little bit more into where that number came from.
I think we got to a place where we were comfortable that it would be at least at minimum 4. And then I feel like we've stuck with 4, and I can't remember if that was because that's everything revised back down where we ended up, or if it's still likely only to be a large part of the cost, and maybe the majority of it, but not quite the full estimate.
Yeah, that's a good point, Julie. And I seem to recall that in looking over some of this information, I saw an option that was around $9 million that actually used potentially one of our Okanagan property. Okay. And I think the additional cost there had to do with bringing in utilities, et cetera. And for that reason, I think that option was off the table because of the cost. I think that's where the $4 million number came into play, was that the location we're looking at is on our current Wenatchee High School site.
The Eastern District of Washington has a new federal judgeship to fill after a sitting judge won appointment to a higher circuit. Salvador Mendoza Jr., a federal judge seated in Yakima since 2014, was confirmed Monday to the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. President Joe Biden nominated Mendoza last April. The president now must appoint his replacement in the Eastern District. Mendoza formerly served as an assistant Washington Attorney General and a judge on the Benton-Franklin Superior Court. Well, food trucks are a popular choice for lunch in north central Washington, but around unincorporated areas of Chelan County, they've become a permanent fixture. County officials say some trucks are posing a problem for licensing, safety, and land use codes. Interim Community Development Director Dina Walter and Fire Marshal Steve Rinaldi addressed the issue yesterday before the Chelan County Board of Commissioners.
I've driven around the county and a couple occasions. I've seen food trucks operating in certain areas, but I've also seen some that I've seen parked in the same location.
For 5 years.
Since I've been here for a year. It hasn't moved. It looks like it's at a permanent location. That's no longer a food truck. That's a permanent installation. That's the same as a building being placed right there.
If you,
So
if you're
that's one of the-
skirting your food truck,
Yeah.
you're permanent.
And if it's hardwired into a power pole panel that's right next door to it, it's you're not going to drive it away. So there's issues like that. The ones that are permanently fixed at a site, that's something to where that's probably going to come back to either a conditional use permit or even having them apply for some type of a building permit.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Some thought it would never happen. The Supreme Court taking away a woman's right to choose, a right to privacy that existed for almost 50 years. It's extreme and dangerous. Now some DC politicians want to ban all abortions with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the mother. As a doctor and mother, I am outraged. As your congresswoman, I won't stand for it. I'm Kim Schreier and I approve this message because this fight is now.
Football, school, cooler temps. It's almost fall. And what better way to celebrate than with the Fall Kickoff Savings Event at Click It RV? We've got to make room for new inventory, which means you'll save up to 30% off with no money down, 90 days to first payment, and lifetime warranties. With the best floor plans and many options under $40,000, there's never been a better time to buy. Visit us today on Frontage Road off I-90 in Moses Lake or go to clickitrv.com.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. A pair of West Side hikers found themselves trapped on Bering Mountain as the Bolt Creek fire near Skykomish closed in on them. In tonight's features story, Steve Cooper and Matt Bishop documented their near-death experience on their Pathless Taken YouTube site. And here are some of the highlights of that video.
I debated about posting this video online. I was afraid about all the criticism that I would get. I'm posting this video as an educational tool to try to point out all the mistakes that we made, which ended up putting our lives in danger. Hopefully this video can bring some awareness to everyone so that everyone doesn't make the same mistake we made.
Well, we're up on the ridge and it is absolutely windy.
We made it up the ridge and started our climb heading up the V-notch. Little did we know that 1 hour later that a fire ripped through there and had us fearing for our lives. We got to the top of the V-notch and we started making our way up the summit. Once we climbed up this first part, that's when we noticed the fire, which was a couple ridges away.
Yeah, we're gonna turn around. I don't want to risk it.
This is us looking down the V-notch, and as you can see, it's a lot of smoke, and that was the way we came. So we really didn't have an option to head back that way.
That came fast, dude. All right. You think so? All right, well, we are trapped here. We've got fire on either side. Hopefully you guys get to see this video because otherwise we didn't make it. All right, me and Matt are here. We just got off the phone with 911 in search and rescue, and they cannot rescue us. They said it's too dangerous up here, the wind's too bad. And so we are going to attempt this and get down to the trailhead so that we can get out of here safely. This is our only way down. Everything is completely engulfed in flames. So we're trying to get down to the lake and then hike out from the lake. I think it'll be more safe. So wish us luck. We got to make it down that. Alrighty, we made it to the main trail. It's a lowered land trail. Should be relatively safe for us. Hopefully we get to the vehicle soon. We need some water. We're out of water. I mean, that off-road track was freaking insane.
As you can see, our vehicle is the only vehicle in that parking lot. In the end, we were happy to be alive. It was a traumatic experience, and I hope no one else has to go through what we went through. This is Steve. See you next time, and happy hiking.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. What a story that was. And we did see a little bit of smoke once again from that Bolt Creek fire around our area. Not as bad as we've seen, though. 75, our unofficial high temperature today. 78 is normal. 93, our record high, and that was set back in 2013. Low this morning, 55. 53 is where we should be overnight. 41, our record low, and that was set in 1986. How about this? 0.52 of an inch of rain from that downpour last night, and that now gets us to 6.5 inches for the year, over 1.5 inches above where we should be for this time of year. Sunrise 6:37, sunset tonight at 7:14. Taking a quick look at tomorrow's temperatures, going to be a nice day. A lot of this smoke is going to continue to scour out of our area. It's going to be pretty sunny tomorrow and warm. 80 degrees for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy, 79 in Wenatchee, and 79 the high temperature in Chelan. Tonight, widespread haze will continue, not as bad as last night. Still might see some of those isolated showers. Low temperatures tonight, mainly in the upper 50s around north central Washington. For Thursday, gonna be a nice one, folks. Mostly sunny and mild. High temperatures in the upper 70s. Getting you into Friday and the end of our week. A little bit of breezy conditions will move through. Low pressure will slide across Canada, and with high pressure already parked here, that could kick up those winds in north central Washington on Friday. Highs a little bit cooler in the lower 70s, but talk about cooler. We're going to feel like fall this weekend with temperatures only in the mid to upper 60s. Mostly cloudy skies on our Saturday and just unseasonably cool. Fall is right around the corner, and it's going to feel like it this weekend. By Sunday, the area of low pressure slides all the way down to California. That'll make for some mostly sunny skies for us. It will continue to be unseasonably cool, though. High temperatures around 70, and then get ready for some wind as we get you into Monday. Mostly sunny skies. We'll see high temperatures with that wind on Monday, right around 70 degrees. And then by the end of our forecast on Tuesday, just sunny and pleasant out there with high temperatures in the lower 70s. 7-day forecast now, 56 tonight, 79 tomorrow. And here's that cool down, especially on Saturday, 67 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, 70 for your Sunday, 71 Monday and windy, and 72 on Tuesday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And And a happy Wednesday. Sometimes you run into a pitcher that has your number. Such was the case for the Mariners last night as Yu Darvish and the San Diego Padres shut out Seattle 2-0. Darvish pitched 8 innings of 2-hit baseball with 8 strikeouts to earn his 14th win of the season. Offensively, the Padres scored the game's first run off Seattle starter Logan Gilbert in the 4th, added insurance in the 9th for the win. Again, 2-0 the final. The two teams wrapped up the 2-game series earlier today at T-Mobile Park. We'll have highlights for you tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Checking the rest of the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard, Oscar Gonzalez's 2-run homer in the 6th gave Cleveland a 3-1 win over the Angels. Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, and Yuli Gurriel each homered for the Astros in the Houston 6-3 win in Detroit. Mark Mathias's walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th was his 2nd home run of the game to go with a double to lead Texas over Oakland 8-7. There was a push in the wild card race yesterday with Toronto and Tampa Bay splitting a doubleheader. Rays won the opener 4-2. Blue Jays win the nightcap 7-2. Toronto half game up on Seattle and Tampa Bay with its 80th win of the season. Baltimore came back to beat the Nationals 4-3 to move within 5 games of the final wildcard spot. Chicago kept pace with a 4-2 win over the Rockies. Poor air quality played havoc on the prep girls soccer schedule yesterday. Wenatchee and Eastmont will try to make it up tonight at 7 o'clock, the Apple Bowl. Also scrubbed from the schedule yesterday, Manson at Lake Roosevelt and Grandview at Ephrata. We'll let you know when they reschedule those matches. Now, games that were played yesterday saw Bella Huberto score in the 73rd minute for Moses Lake to lift the Mavericks over Eisenhower 2-1. Anna Rebelia scored the game's first goal in the 12th minute before Ike tied it up before half. Chelan down Royal 2-0 behind goals from Irene Hernandez and Jalen Reinhardt. It was the 4th shutout to the season for freshman goalkeeper, that is, Avari Barker. Kashmir traveled to Okanagan, fell in the Battle of the Bulldogs 2-1. Isabella Hench scored Kashmir's lone goal in the 75th minute. Other action, Omak blasted Liberty Bell 6-0. Brewster bested Bridgeport 4-0. As we mentioned, Wenatchee and Eastmont will try to play it again tonight. Looks like the air quality is pretty good. 7 o'clock, Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. We're told if you bought tickets yesterday on ticketspicket.com, those will be honored for tonight's game. Well, we broadcast our first volleyball match of the season here on the NCWLIFE channel last night with Eastmont hosting Wenatchee. The Panthers came out on top in 3 games over Eastmont, 25-17, 18, and 13. I was courtside with your play-by-play here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Staines from the left side with the right hand. Cross court it goes. McMahon is there. Up front to Byer. Back to McMahon. Little touch. Found a hole in the pond, but Eastmont can't recover. And it is a point for Wenatchee, and the Panthers win our first set here tonight. Also looks like Jasmine Seltz came in for the front row. Service down to get it is Wenatchee. Here's McMahon off her forearm, got it back across. Now the kill attempt, but it goes off of Ava Joberry, and the hit by Bennett. Point to Eastmont. Credit both teams for the hustle here tonight, and they're just grit and determination. Byer with a service. Backline to back. Oh, we're going to get a double hit, and it's going to be a point, and it's going to be a Wenatchee win, 25-18 here in game 2. Lydia will have the service here as she's trying to keep Eastmont's night alive, trailing it 24-13. Service to the back line to Joe Berry. Now the kill by Nell, and it will fall, and that'll be it for the night as the Wenatchee Panthers sweep aside the Eastmont Wildcats. 3 games to none here, winning the final 25-13.
How do you keep emotion out of a rivalry match like this? You guys were able to do that pretty well tonight.
Yeah, we practice that all the time in practice. Like, we gear up for these games and we gear up for that big crowd. And so that really helps us. The coaches do an amazing job to prepare us for that. Like, we're in practice yelling at each other just to kind of get us ready for that. And I think everyone stepped out here and did exactly what they were supposed to do and just blocking them out and just playing our game.
Now, Ashton told me she didn't think that was their best match tonight. What do you say, Coach?
Definitely not. Yeah, statistically, we're punching a lot of numbers as the match is being played, and definitely was not statistically all around our best game, defensively or offensively. But it's usually like that when you come to Eastmont. So just try to keep the kids' head on and not get wrapped up, focus on the next ball. But yeah, we're way better offensively and defensively than we showed tonight.
I thought just looking at the match, Eastmont was kind of in scramble mode where you guys were more methodical about it. I thought they did a good job. Your ladies did a good job about keeping any emotion out of it. It's just, okay, well, there's a point. Let's go back and get it again.
Well, that's exactly what I told him. I mean, it's some reason it gets emotional between the rivalries, and they're a very good team, but they can't get wrapped up in the emotions. They got to play it just nice and calm, and they did do a good job of moving on to the next point, but statistically, that was not our best match.
Here are the rest of the scores from a busy night in volleyball. Moses Lake swept Eisenhower 3-zip. Moses Lake Christian topped Denny at 3-1. Cashmere won its home opener over Zilla 3-1. Ephrata Blank Quincy 3-zip. Brewster swept Liberty Bell. Okanagan shut out Lake Roosevelt. And Waterville Mansfield defended its home court with a 3-0 win over Pateras. There are a couple matches in the Caribou Trail League coming up tonight. Cascades hosting Okanagan, while Cashmere is at Quincy. Both those contests start at 6:30. Panther Swimmers had a good day in the pool in Wenatchee High School yesterday. Wenatchee defeated West Valley and Sunnyside. West Valley won the head-to-head against the Grizzlies. Eastmont set to host Moses Lake at the Eastmont Aquatic Center coming up tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. Wenatchee Wild continue preseason play on the road in Fargo, North Dakota tonight. Wenatchee takes on the Fargo Force. That game underway. The only way you can keep up to date is through the Wild social media pages. After tonight, Wild will play in Sioux Falls Friday, Sioux City Saturday, and Fargo again on Sunday. Finally, it is with great sadness that we report the death of Arch Ecker. The longtime radio voice of the Wenatchee Wild suffered a cardiac arrest while recovering from surgery in a Spokane hospital yesterday. Ecker was nearly killed in a rollover crash on I-90 back in June of 2021. He survived, recovered, and needed just one more surgery to put him back as whole. Apparently, his body had had too much. We were lucky enough to have Arch on our TV station here many times over the years. He was a regular guest with Dan on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Joined me for an Apple Sox broadcast this summer. He had love for hockey, calling hockey on radio, and a love for music. He was closing in on calling his 1,500th game in his incredible hockey broadcast career. Arch was at his best when the Wild were at their best. We take you back now to April 19th of 2018.
Cycles it. One touch pass across, shot, score! Zach Golambus does it again. And throws it at the empty net. He scores! The captain, A.J. Vanderbeck. 10 seasons, 2 ownerships, 2 leagues, 3 head coaches, and one very special group of athletes that grew together to become a team. Wenatchee, you are home to an ice hockey champion. Your Wenatchee Wild are the BCHL 2018 Fred Page Cup champions.
I was lucky enough to have not only Arch Ecker as a broadcast colleague, he was my friend. Arch Ecker passed away at 56, much too young. That's sports. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us, and have a great night.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCW Life channel.